If you've been confused in relationships because you encounter inconsistencies, come on the walk with me and we will talk about cognitive dissonance, which sounds a lot more complicated than what it is. So, where do we have a lot of inconsistencies? Well, in toxic and narcissistic relationships. So, when you meet someone that they tell you you're their soulmate, you're the best person they ever met, you have this super tight connection, you're their person, and you also feel heard and seen, and then all of a sudden they just treat you like trash, like you don't matter. They give you silent treatment out of nowhere, and you are left to figure out what to do with it. So now their words and their actions do not match. And when their words and actions don't match, you're gonna feel confused, and you're gonna start feeling the fog, which is very present in a lot of toxic and narcissistic relationships. So you really want to believe that they're a good person for you, especially because in the first part, when they were giving you all this affection and attention, you felt really heard and seen. You don't want to give that up because it feels really good, and it almost feels like addiction. And I talked about trauma bond in my previous video. If you haven't seen it, watch it. So what do we do with all this confusion and missing pieces? That is what cognitive dissonance is about. We really want to believe the story. We want to tell ourselves that they're a good person and they're just having a bad day. They're stressed out. Maybe they had a long day at work, and maybe you didn't hear this right. Maybe it was just a fluke. So you tell yourself some sort of justification of their behavior. And because in narcissistic relationships, it's not going to be only one time you're going to deal with this situation where they treat you poorly. You will most likely make up and have this little hoovering phase, and then they'll go back and treat you like trash again, because narcissists love chaos and they use it to throw you off your balance and insert domination and power over you. And also, if you confronted them over their bad behavior, they will tell you that you're the one that's making a big deal out of it, you're too sensitive, you're too crazy. You start believing them because when you face cognitive dissonance, you start telling yourself, maybe I should be more flexible, maybe I'm the one that needs to change something here, I'm not being reasonable, and you start internalizing the gaslighting, and that's where that abuse becomes really damaging. On top of that, what they will do is, of course, they'll throw you a little breadcrumb every once in a while. So that gives you a false hope of change, false hope that the change is possible and that things could go back to how they were if you just tried more, if you just kind of chill out a little bit. Things will go back the way they were before, and you'll have this stability in the relationship that will never happen, because these cycles will just keep repeating, and the more you're there, the more stuck you will feel. And the cognitive dissonance is really what keeps people stuck in toxic and narcissistic relationships. And combined with trauma bond, that's where it's that really powerful combination. And it's a reason why getting out of these relationships as early as possible is so important, because you're not as addicted to them, and there isn't this huge fog that you're making a sense by creating these stories and beliefs that this person just had a bad day and that they show you the signs of change and things are possible. Deprogramming is when we start doing the opposite from cognitive dissonance, when we made space and had to have answer for something that we didn't have answer for. And deprogramming means allowing for multiple truths and multiple realities to exist in the same time. So just because someone is charming and fun and confident, and just because you had a fun weekend, that doesn't mean that you're also not abused, because this person has also made you question your reality and is really damaging to you. So allowing for those two things to take place in the same time is what's really hard for a lot of people, but it is something that we need to do in order to heal and move on from these type of relationships. I hope that cognitive dissonance makes a lot more sense right now. I would really appreciate if you share this video with someone who could benefit from this content, and follow me for more videos like this.